Birdwood and the Birdwood Mill. The end of the run, the culmination of months of preparation. A time to relax and to view the greatest collection of Australiana on wheels the Southern Hemisphere has ever seen. The judging was so detailed that hairstyles and even footwear, as well as the car, came into consideration. But the trouble was well worth it.
When the question of a trophy for the Beta Birdwood Run came up, the matter was discussed extensively with Donald Chisholm, the manager, and Mr. Max Rogers, the curator of the Motor Museum, and myself, and we decided to settle on a scale model in sterling silver of the Shearer steam car. This car was the first car built in South Australia, and it made a run from Mannum to Adelaide around the turn of the century, which is almost a duplication of the run for the Beta Birdwood Run. I worked first of all from a photograph of the trophy. The trophy is 15 centimetres or 6 inches long, and it's a 1:25 scale. In other words, the model will be 1/25th the size of the original. It was impossible to get all the detail from the photograph, so I needed to take these, make these drawings and take direct measurements from the actual car. Things like the side frame here and this small section there which is up near the boiler. The detail was impossible to get from the photograph. After making the drawings, I started construction on the trophy. The entire trophy is made from silver stock, as we call it, which is either silver plate or wire or silver tubing with a hole down the centre called chenier. None of the trophy is cast, and the entire trophy is made from these raw materials. When I started construction on the car, I tried to construct it as near to the way the original would have been constructed, with very, very close attention to detail. The first part were the two bearers that run along each side of the car. Then I put in the floor and the side walls here, and after that the strengthening frame that supports the suspension at the rear and supports the car through the centre. After doing that, I worked on the wheels, starting off by making a small hub and drilling it with holes to accommodate the spokes. After that, made the tyre, the outer tyre, and then fitted the spokes into the outer tyre and into these holes. The boiler was constructed as far as possible along the lines of normal boiler construction, in that the plates were riveted on, actually riveted on as they would be in a real one, and where I couldn't do that, there are simulated rivets along the side and also on the chimney there. The gauges have very, very fine detail in them and will be later located on the front of the boiler like that. And likewise the piping that comes from the boiler to the engine is lagged, in other words wrapped in asbestos rope to contain the heat. The steering is a rack and pinion steering. There's part of it there, and there's the actual rack and the little pinion wheel there. And the car will actually steer through the steering wheel, just as the original one did.
Now, the name of the winner is Car 268, Steve Boros, a 1930 A model Ford of the Ford A Restorers Club. Hello.
Congratulations to you. You must be very excited, of course, to be able to, and to have your name too on the magnificent trophy, which will be displayed here, and that's valued, I believe, at something like $6,000. It's worth is pure silver, and you have a little plaque there, which one of the girls is holding. That'll be engraved as the winners of the inaugural run. Tell me, Steve, what do you do?
I'm a chef.
Whereabouts?
Morford Arms Hotel.
At the Morford Arms? Oh, well, that's going to be the place to go this week for some magnificent food. And tell us about the car. Now, well, it's a four-door,
Four-door town sedan. I bought it about 6 years ago in pieces.
In pieces?
Never been in a car before. And it took me about 3 years to complete the job.
Goodness gracious, mate. So there it was, 660 historic and special interest vehicles, all participating in the 1980 inaugural Bay to Birdwood Run, with that magnificent trophy being won by Steve Boros and family in the 1930 A model Ford. But the planning for this run hasn't stopped. The committee for the next Bay to Birdwood Run has already been formed and planning is well underway. We hope the next run, to be held in September 1982, will be even more successful and will attract entrants from all over Australia. If you'd like to register your application for entry, why not write now to the Bay to Birdwood Organising Committee, 51 Kennaway Street at Tusmore, South Australia 5065. I'll repeat that, the Bay to Birdwood Organising Committee, 51 Kennaway Street, Tusmore, South Australia 5065. The Bay to Birdwood Run is jointly organised by the Federation of Vintage Car Clubs of South Australia, the Birdwood Mill and SAS Channel 10 to aid the annual Christmas Appeal. In fact, the proceeds from the first run were in excess of $8,200, and that money will be used for research into children's diseases. See you in September '82.